Hi there, it's Edie K. Happy Monday. Over the weekend I watched a really great movie called The Kids Are All Right. And I loved the movie, but one of the things I love the most about it is that throughout the movie it illustrated several transformations that these characters went through in terms of coming first from a place of blaming everybody else and everything else outside of themselves for what they didn't like in their life, and then coming through that to the other side and actually starting to take responsibility for the things that they've done, the choices that they've made, and responsibility for where their lives were headed. So it was really cool to watch those characters develop throughout that movie. One scene in the movie that I thought was particularly powerful in this whole idea of, what's my part, what's my role, what am I responsible for, was a scene where one of the characters, an 18-year-old girl named Joni, she was in the garden and she was working with her biological father, who she had just started forming a relationship with. They were in the garden working together, and she got a phone call on her cell phone from her mother, and she starts venting and going, oh, she's so overbearing and she drives me crazy and she treats me like I'm 12 years old. It's like she's in denial that I'm actually an adult now. And he pauses and responds with, you know what, she's your mom, that's her job. And the girl says, what, are you kidding me, suffocating me to death? That's not her job. And he responds to her by saying, if you want things to be different, you've got to make that happen. That's your job. And this was just a really great reminder. If we want something different to show up, if we want things to be different in terms of a relationship that we have with somebody else, we've got to make that happen. Can't just sit back and think that things are going to magically change on their own. If we want people to treat us differently, if we've got an overbearing spouse or an overbearing mother or an overbearing mother-in-law or an overbearing friend, and we want them to stop micromanaging our lives, we've got to start setting boundaries, and we've got to say, listen, I'm an adult, I know it's hard for you, but you've got to let me make my own decisions, you've got to let me make my own choices. If not, things are just going to stay the same. So this is a really great reminder for everyone, for all of us in our own lives, to step into our power and actually set boundaries and let people know what those boundaries are in terms of how we want to be treated. I really hope that helped you today. I know that this was a big one for me, speaking the way that we do want to be treated to the other people so that they could actually honor that and step into those roles, which is exactly what happened in this movie with the girl and her mother. Took a little bit of working, like everything else does, but in the end, it's worth that little bit of discomfort, that little bit of confrontation that might happen when you start to voice those things. Again, I'm Edie K. I hope you have an awesome week, and I look forward to talking to you next time.